welcome to the book show. And today we're at the Hope Centre here in High Wycombe, and we've got Rachel Brooker as well.
Hello!
Who's come here to talk about her book. Tell us the book.
The Black Rainbow Slayer.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, this book took Rachel 6 years to write. Okay, so why 6 years?
Well, it takes a long time to write a story. It all begins with the roots of the planning, really. I went to the University of Gloucestershire and did creative writing, and on the day that they said you could be inspired, I actually was inspired for this book. And we were walking around, I can never say the word, an arboretum. Yeah, an arboretum?
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
I'm not sure.
Whatever it is.
Say so.
And I just thought it would be so cool to write a fantasy series with this brother and sister lost in the mountains, and this like sort of Russian man comes along and says, "You don't belong here." And that's really where the ideas came from. And ever since then, I've just been honing stuff and cutting material and cutting characters. The main character, Will, doesn't have a sister anymore. She was cut within a week.
Oh!
I know. Lonely
Okay.
Will, but...
So you started the book 6 years ago, and you're adapting it. You've been adapting it. It's been gestating and growing and changing. Is that according to the way your life has gone, or?
No, I'd
how is
say.
that?
I mean, to me, writing is. It doesn't matter how my life is going. It's escapism. It's my absolute passion. It's my. If people are bored in a waiting room, they'll just sit there twiddling their thumbs, and I'll just get my notebook out and start scribbling.
Wonderful, yeah.
So it's quite handy being a writer as well.
So is this your first book, or did you write when you were a kid? Or
I
anything
wrote a lot when I was little. I was about 6 years old when I started writing, but it would mainly be fan fiction, which, if anyone doesn't know, is when you take an author's characters and you make up your own plots with them. So, for example, the fan fiction I did was Famous Five quite a lot.
Oh, yes.
So I would have like, golly, there's some ginger beer and all that kind of thing. I'd really put myself into the characters' heads. More recently it's been Harry Potter, because I'm obsessed with Harry Potter, as everyone knows. And yeah, I don't know, I just kind of spin out as many stories as I can, and what we call plot bunnies.
Okay.
Where you get loads of plots and you just put everything together.
So how old were you when you first realised you could write? Do you remember your first experience?
I think it was when I was about 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah, but I was reading from when I was really small, probably about 4 or 5 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Great.
a big part of my life.
Okay. So, tell us about the book.
Okay, so the book, The Black Rainbow Slayer, is part of a trilogy, which is The Black Rainbow Slayer, The White Rainbow Guardian, and Immortal Fire, The Rainbow War. And it's probably got about, it's spanning over about, I'd say, 2 or 3 years, probably. The main character, Will, was 15 at the beginning, and yeah, he'll be about 18 by the time it finishes. So
Okay.
I don't like the idea of sometimes children's books have the characters, then they never age. And
So
it's not realistic.
Sorry, so this is a children's book, you were saying?
Yes.
Probably 12 plus.
Yeah.
Because you said they actually die. Is that right? They're dead?
Will's parents have died in mysterious circumstances. He thinks it's one thing, but it's actually another, but I can't tell you any more than that.
Okay. So you wrote this before Harry Potter. The ideas, were they coming to you connected to Harry Potter, or do you think that maybe that inspired you in some way? Because, that's how we get inspired. There's no such thing as 100% original ideas in any way.
No.
But we get inspired by other books and other writers.
Yes.
So tell us how different your story is.
Okay. I guess it's kind of influenced by the sort of J.K. Rowling thing. Anthony Horowitz as well is one of my major inspirations. He wrote the Stormbreaker series. If anyone hasn't read those, read those. And it's like, it's original because I don't think anyone, God, nobody has thought of a rainbow being a destructive invention and it being black. So, because I wanted to take the idea of something really beautiful and turn it into something really ugly.
Okay, so what's the significance of the black rainbow? Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, the black rainbow is a destructive invention that has been resurrected 6 times in Ostasa, which is a floating land above Austria, reachable via the Tree of Justice, and it only grows for people who are from there. And when Will is on a trip in Austria, he's just wandering around taking photos, and he loses his group in a blizzard. And the tree just grows before him, and the plaque on it says something very cool.
What does it say?
It says, the black rainbow is coming, you must save us all or everyone's going to die, basically. So he climbs this tree thinking he's going to get eaten by wolves, well, you would in the middle of nowhere. He's run out of his food, he doesn't have his first aid kit, so he's, and he climbs this tree and he arrives in this tropical landscape on this beach, and he thinks he's dreaming, and it really sort of kicks off from there.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about some of the characters that come into the book itself.
I've mentioned Will. He's Will Worthington, 15 years old, blonde hair, slightly inspired, I think, by, again, Anthony Horowitz's Alex Rider. And also, when I'm writing, it's really important for me to have actors in my head, because then it's much more realistic.
Okay.
So, for example, as I talked about the Stormbreaker series, Will Worthington looks like Alex Pettyfer did in the Stormbreaker movies. Like, that's it. Nobody else would. It doesn't matter if it's made into movie. Oh, I would.
Yeah, we hope. Yeah. That's one of your passions.
And Amanda Holloway, Captain Amanda Holloway, she has her own ship. She is sort of loosely based on Amanda Bynes' character from like What a Girl Wants, because she talks like that and she's all like, whoa.
She's cool.
She's really, dear, she's really like kick-ass, a bit of a tomboy, and she hates it when anybody calls her like a damsel in distress. She says like, I'm going to give you a knuckle sandwich.
Tough cookie.
Yeah, exactly. So she is Amanda Bynes from basically What a Girl Wants. Kazimir Korolovich is the bad guy, and I really enjoy writing him.
Yeah, they're always the ones you can get your teeth into.
Yes.
Especially if you're an actress.
And I recently discovered an actor called Dane DeHaan, who was in Kill Your Darlings with Danny Radcliffe, and he's got these absolutely mesmerising eyes. You just can't stop looking at him. He's these piercing eyes, and they just hide this sort of veil of evil behind them, and I was just like, you're the guy. So yeah, it's all sort of, and there's a massive reason as well that Kazimir is the bad guy. He's had a very troublesome past, and let's just say he doesn't like Will very much.
Okay, so Will is representing the good, I presume.
Yes.
He's the hero, and Kazimir is more like the anti-hero.
Yes, yeah.
So where does the Black Rainbow come in?
So the Black Rainbow is, Kasimir's dad invented the Black Rainbow, and he's an inventor, and he went to school with Will's parents. He went to school and then the Astasian University as well, science and atoms and everything. And when the Black Rainbow was created, when it was created, Will's parents were destroying it every single time because it was basically going to destroy all of Ostasa. The inventor lost control and everything went wrong. And then on one time it didn't work. They tried to destroy it and it failed miserably. So the Black Rainbow was at large for a while, and I think it was about a month, and loads of people's lives were taken because of it, including Will's parents. But again, it's for a reason that you don't...
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, did you do any, when you say scientific, have you got any kind of scientific background at all? Or is it, because a lot of people are actually getting ideas though they haven't got that background, it's because of the way we're living, the consciousness we're living in, we're attracting a lot of ideas. So how do you write? Do you put yourself into, do you go into a trance? Do you have a certain way of writing where you pick up these ideas? Or is it just a natural thing, like you could be walking in the woods or something and then boom, there you are?
I hate to say it, but it's probably like that, yeah. I mean, like for example, yesterday I was walking home from my writing cafe, Costa, and an idea came into my head, and it was like, oh my god, I need to do that, and that was it, and then I wrote it when I got back.
That's brilliant.
So,
okay, we're going to stop now for a break, but when we come back, Rachel's going to read to you a little section of her book, The Black Rainbow Slayer.
At the front of the hall, blood-coloured suits of armour stood, with long, hooked silver beaks and sapphire eyes that seemed to stare directly at him. For some reason, Will was reminded of the masks people had worn during the Black Plague. Above the suits of armour hung a vast tapestry, where in the centre people ran and screamed from a black archway, a heading titled, Remembering Those Who Have Fallen, the Black Rainbow War. Around the archway, a splodged palette of whites and greens surrounded the chaos, clouds and forests. Will watched the tapestry for a few minutes, reluctantly hypnotised by the colours. All those people had died, and there was nothing anyone could have done, not even his parents. And if his parents hadn't been able to save everyone, then how could he possibly do so now? Amanda nudged him, mouthing, okay? Will nodded. Hello, newcomers, a tall man introduced himself from the podium at the front. Welcome to the Black Rainbow Committee meeting. He was around 30 years old, with brown curly hair, trusting eyes, and a long crimson gown, the powerful image of a bleeding dagger thrust into the heart of a black rainbow, pinned to his chest.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for reading that.
Pleasure.
Now that sounded very explosive. a lot of energy, a lot of noise going on, if you're visualizing it, if you were, watching it as a film or something. So tell us a little bit about what was happening in that scene.
Basically, Will and Amanda had to go to the Black Rainbow Committee meeting because Amanda has, obviously she's found the Black Rainbow Slayer, Will, so she takes him to the meeting and says, hey everybody, call it, we've got somebody who can save us. But behind closed doors as well, there's more things going on in that castle that you don't understand about until book 2.
Wow,
so
cliffhanger.
Yeah, what I like to do in my novels is use a lot of narrative misdirection, which is something J.K. Rowling uses. With the snake thing with Harry, he says like, he tried to kill me. No, he was trying to save him. So I like to be able to sort of guide people down one path and then jerk them away.
Sure.
And then guide them back down.
Sure. So when we look at the trilogy, the whole thing of the trilogy, are you writing them together, or are you writing one book at a time?
I'm writing one book at a time, but I've planned the second book. And then I think I've written about a quarter of it as well, without realising, because I wrote the first one and then realised that actually a lot of that material needed to go in book 2. So I just sort of transferred everything into a separate Word document.
Right, okay. So that way, and when do you think you may complete the book?
I've given myself a deadline.
Yes.
June.
Do you have any deadlines?
June,
wonderful.
Yeah.
So when are you going to release it?
Well, I'm hoping to release it probably the middle of June.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, let us know and we'll do what we can to get it out
Fantastic.
there. So is it going to be available as an ebook? Because, one of the things I think you may be good to think about as an audio, because of the way as well, the fact that you're an actress and you do voiceovers.
Yeah,
I think
didn't
an
think
audio
about
would be
that.
fantastic.
I thought that'd be kind of arrogant to read your own.
No, we can provide you with actors, myself.
Hey.
If you wanted.
Yeah,
It might be
absolutely.
nice to have an audio. of it. I'm not mentioning a film.
Yeah.
But at the moment, that's quite, you know,
Yeah.
would you consider something like
That
that?
would be really cool, yeah.
Yeah, and probably an ebook and a physical book and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then once you've done that, do you plan to write any more
Yes.
trilogies? Or is that going to be the end of that book, or will there be a continuation? Will it go on for another 10 years?
I'm going to see how it goes. I'm not going to do it again, J.K. Rowling, and just close it with a, you know, an epilogue and say, oh, this is 19 years later. I'm just going to see where it takes me, really. But I have planned another series, but it's teenagers, and it's called the Hologram Project, and it's all about lucid dreaming, and because that's something I'm really fascinated by.
Sounds wonderful. I'm really looking forward to reading the book when it comes out, so, you know, in some way, and we can come back and discuss it with, maybe have some people together and debate it or something, because it sounds like a really exciting new book, and I personally missed Harry Potter.
Yeah,
I was sad. I was really sad when it ended. I'm very disappointed. And so I'm really glad to hear that someone is actually picking up the pieces and writing something, not obviously in just a similar vein.
Yeah, I didn't want magic.
Your
That was very
own
important.
independent. So it doesn't have magic in it.
It doesn't have magic, no.
Oh, so what do you use then?
So the Black Rainbow is, I describe it actually as a destructive archway of gravitational coal dust and molten lava, and molten spheres as well. And behind it is a secret that it's carrying, which I can't talk about, but it hopefully will shock you. But there's robotics involved as well. So
but there's no magic.
No magic, and that was an absolute on-purpose thing, because I think there's too much magic out there.
Well, again, magic, I suppose, is also a concept. We think of it in different ways, don't we? That to one person, magic can mean one thing. Another person, it's true. Bibbity bobbity boom kind of thing with a wand. So to me, that, you know, you're brought up with all the fairy tales and the wand, and of course Harry Potter and his wand and the invisible cloaks and things. But with you, it's a different kind of magic.
Yes.
It's a different kind of magic that you're bringing. It's your passion. It's what you love doing, and it's coming across. And I expect that teenagers will love it, and I expect adults will love it. And as I say, it will really be good fun to read it. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Right, is there anything else you'd like to say about your book?
No, I just really hope people like it, because it's been a long process, but I've loved every second of it.
That's wonderful. You see, that's more important than anything else. The journey is the most important thing, not actually achieve where we get to. That we can't always control that, we do our best.
Yes.
But it sounds like this could be another bestseller, and I really, really hope it is. And I keep saying I'm the first person that interviewed you on Moving On TV, so that's my ego, which, you know, kept happy and my side of it. But it's lovely having you on the book show.
Lovely to be here.
As I say, look forward to reading the book. So that was Rachel Brooker talking to us about her book on the book show. And the book will be coming out in June sometime, so it's not that far away.
And we get on again.
If you want to find out more about Rachel, is there any way of getting in touch with you if people want to find out about you?
Yes.
How can they contact you?
I have a Facebook page.
Right, would you like to tell?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. It's R.E. Brooker, just like J.K. Rowling. And if you just type that into the search engine, then just follow me, like, and and I post little sort of teasers every so often.
Wonderful.
Say what I'm doing.
So you can follow Rachel on Facebook, or you can contact her via Moving On TV, which is, if you email me, Lauren with an E, at movingontv.uk, and you can phone us on 07437 532 798, or come in to the Hope Centre. We're open from the 8th to the 22nd of June, and we're always looking for new people that are writing books, or people that are writing new books. Whichever way you put it, we're looking for people to give them the exposure that they deserve for their talents. So thank you very much, and signing off on the book show. Thank you. Bye!
Trilogy. It's going to be the Black Rainbow Rainbow Slayer, the White Rainbow Guardian, and Immortal Fire, the Rainbow War, and those titles were painstaking to come up with. The first one was September 2007, and I just called it Ostassa because that word jumped into my head, and I don't even know where it came from, but it is pretty amazing because the land I actually write about has got Austrian and Russian sort of influences in terms of the decor and the architecture. So Ostassa